second. I will jump into it. Ready?
Yep.
All right, shipmates, welcome back aboard for another issue of Into the Seamenverse, the only podcast where three Navy vets talk comics, comic culture, and whatever else drifts across the bow. I'm your host, Drew, joined as always by my shipmates Adam and Joe. Say hi, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on here. How are you guys doing?
I'm good, man.
really good, man. Really good. Short week, Thanksgiving in 2 days. Feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Same. Ready for Thanksgiving, ready to eat a lot of food. Um, let's jump into the plan of the day. So for today's mission brief, we are going to deep dive into variant and ratio comics. And since we
Ooh,
are closing in on Thanksgiving, like you said, and it's in a couple of days, we're going to talk about comics that we are thankful for. We'll also, of course, go over the news, our pull lists, and the normal fun stuff that we normally talk about. But first, we are going to revisit our recommendations from a couple of issues ago. To refresh everyone, Adam, what was your recommendation for us?
Mine was 8 Billion Genies by Charles Soule, I believe. I can't think of the artist.
All right. My recommendation was Do a Powerbomb. That is by Daniel Warren Johnson. Um, he wrote and illustrated it, I believe, which is pretty sweet. And Joe, what did you recommend for us?
I didn't. Well, I think I recommended to watch Peacemaker, and I'm assuming you guys did because it's been like 8 months since Peacemaker ended.
Yeah, I did. I did my homework.
Nice, dude.
they,
Nice.
they crushed the season. That was a good season.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about that, I think, in a future episode, or issue. Yeah, I gotta get used to saying issue. Maybe one day I will. But anyway, yeah, we will definitely tackle that. But we are gonna talk our comic recommendations. We're let's start with Adam. So Adam, you said 8 billion genies. Tell us why you picked this book.
It just it came out. I forget when did it come out. Hold on, I got some of that information here. In April of 2023, I believe the first issue came out, and I remember the concept seemed really intriguing. Um, Basically, when the population hits 8 billion on Earth, everybody gets their own personal genie, and they're allowed to make one wish. And so this comic book follows like what would happen if everybody on Earth gets one wish, and all the craziness that amounts is, there's robots and dragons everywhere. Some wishes cancel each other out, and so I just thought that it would be like it's a super interesting concept to think about. I just wanted to show you guys. I do have my first issue of
Nice.
8 billion. It's a comic book, local comic book store day variant.
Nice.
Um, and I don't know how if you just wanted me to give the synopsis and then get into a discussion, but that's basically
Yeah.
the synopsis.
Yeah. Perfect. Absolutely. Um, Now, I believe you did not read this before you recommended it,
I did
correct?
not read it before I read. Correct.
Cool. Cool. Um, yeah, so what since you didn't read it, what did you think about it?
I've absolutely loved it. I thought um I was talking to one of you guys, and I was like, we're doing these recommendation radar readings where and I thought there's so much good stuff in there, and I'm like, yo, we need to take a break because we did 8 billion genies, we did do a power bomb, we did the Wonder Woman comic, and those were all like heavy hitting stories. And same with 8 billion genies. It's like, man, I need maybe we need to take a break and have a. But I wouldn't. I love these comic books so much, these stories so much that they're. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Joe, what did you think?
It was pretty awesome. I really liked it. I was intrigued by the concept of it before reading it because I'd never even heard of the damn thing. And when Adam had explained it, I was like, "Ooh, that does sound kind of interesting," and makes perfect sense too, dude. I mean, you give like a 12-year-old kid the ability to make one wish. Of course, they're going to wish to be a dinosaur or something.
Yeah.
I mean, just it was awesome. I thought, yeah, it was excellent, excellent read, cool story.
I like how it was set up too, like with the 8 seconds and then 8 months, or 8 days and 8 months and then
Yes,
years and then
Yeah. So also we spoil everything here.
yeah.
So we are just a giant spoiler alert for everything. So please, if you are listening and you haven't read these, we are going to spoil probably everything for you in all the things we talk about. Uh, so yeah,
We're also dumb as hell, so if we get something wrong, let us know.
yeah, absolutely. We're really new at this. I just learned how to read yesterday,
All right.
so it's like pretty cool thing now, comics too. No, yeah, I thought it was a great book also, and I did not know what to expect, like how serious it was going to be, but also, like you said, you're 12 years old, you're going to wish to be a freaking dinosaur. There was I think at one point they talked about a giant immortal banana,
yeah,
like it was completely, like parts of it were just unhinged, like absolutely insane. Um,
I liked how like he built like a great world, and like to the point where like centuries down the road there's a condition where if you don't use your wish, you become afraid to use your wish because you don't want to waste your wish. And I thought that was like a unique perspective.
yeah, yeah, and can you fill us in kind of on a little bit deeper with the story, like kind of like the rules of wishing, um, and maybe some things that people weren't expecting?
So basically, like I said, you find out that this is more like a population control type scenario where these genies pop up, and everybody that's able to grasp the concept of a wish is allowed one wish. And if you're too young to wish, your genie is on standby until you come of age. I believe that's correct.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, so everybody gets a wish, and then it's also the genies can interpret the wish as they see fit. And with that being said, that means that wishes can also be canceled out. So, like, if a president says, I want the United States to be the greatest nation," and then what was it? North Korea said the same
yeah,
thing. Like, that kind of cancels each other out. Is that correct?
yeah,
that is correct.
And
yeah,
basically, yeah, there's everybody gets a wish until and then once the final wish is made, that's when everything resets.
right. And I really found it cool with the last genie that gets the last wish, then becomes a human
Gets to live as a human.
in the next like world. So
Yeah.
in this one, we did have a genie from the previous like reset, and I thought like that was a really cool touch too. And like immediately the first wish for that genie human was like in the bar, I think, was to have none of the outside wishes or anything like that affect like the bar,
Yeah.
which was
That
cool because it was just like a safe space, really.
that his story was really cool too, because they basically they live until the next event, and you know he lives through his life, trying to save humanity, and then he becomes a warlord, and then he's like, I'm just gonna open up a bar and then just serve people until this
Yeah.
event happens. So I thought that was very cool, and
Yeah.
I also enjoyed like how you're kept abreast of what's going on. It tells you how many wishes are left and what the population is left. So I
Yeah,
thought,
I like the countdown.
yeah, just the overall really well done, really well thought out world, and really well put together comic.
Yeah. I also really liked the art inside
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I think the drawing, the pencil work, all that stuff was like really
The
cool.
genies kind of cracked me up.
Yeah, they were kind of cute, They were like
It
very
looked like old school like soft serve McDonald's soft serve
Yeah,
ice cream cones.
yeah.
no, I had like on like hilarious little outfits and shit. Like they were the genies were pretty cool.
Yeah, and they like mirrored kind of like the look of the owner of the genie.
Yeah.
It was a great read. Good pick, Adam. For real. That was cool. Um, I do have a story about my copy. So I think we all got the trade paperbacks.
I
Unless
did.
Adam, did you collect all the comics?
No, I ended up buying the trade paperback, and yeah, I read the trade paperback.
So I think we picked them up when they released. Um,
Oh yeah. They
so
got reissued.
yes. So I went to pick it up because I saw Joe got it and I was like, hell yeah, like I need this because I was kind of looking for the comics and that was gonna get expensive. So I went to the big comic store, and I asked them and they're like, no, like we don't have any more. And I was like, oh man, that stinks. And then the dude behind the counter was like, I was actually like holding one for myself, but like if you want it, like you could totally have it. Which I thought was super cool. So I took it and I bought it. Uh, but it was, I did not expect it. I think that, a lot of comic guys are pretty possessive of like their copies and things like that. Although I know he could probably just order another copy. It's not like a huge deal.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't have to like offer me the copy that he was holding for himself. But I am happy that he did. I definitely go back there and continue to give that place my business. But I thought that was kind of cool. All
Um,
right.
what do you think? Okay, let me restart that question. How long do you hold on to your wish?
I was,
And on top of that, you don't really have to go into too much detail, but what do you think you end up wishing for?
uh, like, are we living in that world or are we living in?
You're living in this world, dude.
Uh,
I mean, keep in mind, the genies show up. It's not like the world, like they just show up, right?
yeah, once.
Everybody. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't even know if my neighbor has a genie. As far as I'm concerned, the genie has showed up to just me at this point. So, I mean, the first second that it's happening. Okay. So continue with your thought process of you're sitting on your couch, a genie pops up. How long you holding on to your wish, and what are you wishing for?
I'm probably like an 8 month to an eight
You're
year.
full of shit.
I think so. The way it took me 9 years to propose to my wife. The way I think about things is long and thought out.
I'm probably losing mine in the first 8 hours.
Yeah. I think, with me, I think my wish would be something similar to, I forget the dude's name, but the Asian dad who was like he wanted to be capable of like
Uh,
protecting his family.
yeah,
Um, and I think that it would take a very short period of time for me to decide that, especially when the outside world is like completely going crazy. because it's not going to take long for us to realize, shit is whack. And being as with I have another family, they'd also get genies. So we would kind
Yeah.
of know like what's going on or, have a better kind of grasp of it. But yeah, man, mine would be to protect my family. That one's easy and cliche.
Yeah, I'd burn Sabrina, my wife's wish on something cool.
Yeah.
And then,
You should wish for a Nintendo 64. I'd probably end up wishing for, like I said, the first 8 hours probably, and it'd probably be something dumb like
like the world's best Detroit style pizza.
I was gonna say probably maybe like the world's best break dancer or something like because I probably already been like kind of like drinking or getting a little weird
Right.
when the genie shows up and I'm like, oh shit, nice. And then it turns out I'm watching like Tombstone or something. I'm like, can I be the world's best
It,
6 shooter?
it would have been like a Tuesday night, and you've been like drunk, and you've been like, "Man, I don't want to work tomorrow. I wish I didn't have to show up until 9."
Exactly.
And the genie would have been like, "Gotcha, bro."
Exactly what would have happened. Son of a bitch.
Uh,
Let me tell you what though, on a serious note, had I been in that band, I can't remember what the band's name was, the 3-person band. I think as soon as when the genie showed up and she wished that the other dude fell in love with her, I probably, if I was the guy that just professed my love to her, I might have hit her with a brick.
I know.
I was so fucking mad.
I
I was
was
like, you got to be
that
shitting
upset
me,
at me
dude.
too.
Like this guy just poured his heart out in front of you. You shot him down, and then as soon as you got a genie with one wish, you what?
yeah, right in front of his face too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
I mean,
instantly.
if he would have smashed your head in, I would have been really surprised. That he did that happened. I don't think it would have been the right thing to do, but uh, damn, dude, how rude of you!
Yeah.
You couldn't even wait till you were in the bathroom to make that wish. Mm,
Yep.
mm, mm,
That was
mm.
kind of dickish.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they did, work really hard at their craft and become like the world's greatest band or something.
They were like one of the only bands at all, like any. But yeah, I mean that was kind of cool, and I did like kind of relate to that, Just that'd be kind of a fun thing to do. I wouldn't waste my wish on like becoming a great musician, but they had plenty of time. I mean, it went like what 800 years into the future. I think
Yeah,
it's what it ended up being.
Yeah,
sounds right.
So it was like, yeah, it was crazy. Like just the time jumps. Um, yeah, man, what a great book. Highly recommended. Everyone should read this book if you haven't, or you just listen to this and now you know everything that happens.
I'd put it in
Um,
my sea bag for sure.
I don't really think
oh,
that anything we talked about
100.
really ruins the whole thing. You know,
Yeah, there's a
there
lot
wasn't
more.
anything. I wasn't like turning the page and I was like blown away at like population control. What?
Yeah,
It wasn't. I mean, yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't like twisty like that. So I don't think it's ruined for anybody. I mean, it's just it's a pretty sick book.
yeah, yeah. I recommend it. All right, so I recommended do a power bomb. Um, I picked this because I thought it was cool. Um, and I know that you both are big wrestling fans. And I thought it'd be cool to do a review on a comic book that was all about wrestling. I also did not read this comic book, but I did read some really good reviews about it, and that also factored, of course, into me picking it. I didn't want to pick any in like dog shit. Um, Adam, what you think
Yes.
about
First, I was digging through my comic books, and I did pull my do a power bomb #1. This is the Heron cover, so I did have
it?
that. Um, another
Very nice.
I fucking love this book as well, like equally as much as 8 billion genies. It made me a huge Daniel Warren Johnson fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I picked up the trade paperback and there I read this little insert about how I believe he came up with the concept during COVID and he was watching a bunch of like pro wrestling and that's when he started developing the idea for this book. Um, Such an emotional book, like the dad reveal caught me off guard and it was so cool. The way he drew the action scenes, the wrestling scenes was fucking amazing. Like I felt it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Warren Johnson becomes like the podcast like writer, like our official like hey this guy rules writer. He did the Absolute Batman annual. He wrote and drew that one, and he, Batman does some wrestling moves
Yes.
in that issue as well. And so you could like, yeah, that's crazy that he just fell in love with wrestling during COVID, I believe. And there's lots of like what's the Japan series?
All Japan or New Japan.
New Japan or something. Anyways, yeah, I love the book, Drew. It was awesome. I was totally invested in the story. It got me in the feels, and it was a beautiful story. And yeah, another comic book series that I'd throw in the sea bag.
Yeah. Cool, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And Joe, what did you think?
This was awesome, man. The illustrations, the drawing, all that was the art was really cool. The you can tell when somebody like really actually enjoys wrestling, and I got that. I also read that inside cover, that insert deal or whatever about how he got into making this story and all that, and he nailed it with the names of the moves and stuff. Like all that stuff
Yeah,
is legit. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, yeah, that's it. That I was on the same page with it, and it was awesome that this guy really it does enjoy wrestling and made an awesome story about it. I am kind of surprised you only have one issue with that, Adam. Like that just seems like something like,
Yeah.
especially with that cover you got, you were just like, I'm good after that. I don't need this anymore. Like, what were you doing?
uh, I was,
That cover's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And
uh,
you just stopped.
dude. I'm really like this was what 22, 23. So I mean, I'm what 5 years into collecting at this point, and so like my stacks are starting to get big. So I'm like, I probably had like a big pull list going at the time. So I'm just oh that looks interesting, that looks interesting, and I was like, I probably didn't. Obviously, I didn't have time to read it, so I was like, I'm not gonna collect something that I'm not gonna read.
Yeah.
So I probably just grabbed stuff that looked interesting, and then if I got to, I got to it. If I didn't, clearly I didn't. But I'm glad I was able to tr- return and finish the story.
Um, you kind of reading it the way we did instead of by issue, the original run and all that. Um, the dad reveal was kind of like, I just kind of was able to skim over that, like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
and because you just go to the next page,
yeah,
and I feel that even when I was reading that, I was like, man, I bet you that right there, because after reading just a little bit of this, I was like, dude, I'm into this. I
yeah,
like this. And the over the top characters, uh, the gigantic upper bodies of like these hulking brutes, dude, that shit, the unrealistic uh, uh, proportions for these people was just hulking monsters. I love that shit, dude. Just brutes getting after it. Um, so I knew instantly I was in. I was like, man, if I knew about this in the original run, man, that dad reveal would have been quite the cliffhanger
yeah.
between
Even like, what the fuck?
like
Yeah.
no way. And then I just turned the page and okay, now they're fighting guys that are I wish some of the matches had like maybe like 2 or 3 more pages, so you get like 20 more panels or something of just like clotheslines or chest chops or something. Uh, that would have been pretty cool. Um, yeah, I also would have liked to see some of the other showcased tag teams in the tournament. I would have liked to see their fights. I wish I had. I should run upstairs and go get the book just so I can. There were some that were just pretty amazing. Like, oh, I would like to see that go down. But you didn't see that. But those happened off panel, off page. I don't know, off story. I don't know what to call it. But overall, dude, you guys picked two awesome books to read back to back, and that yeah, dude, I mean, that's tough. That's tough to follow. I'm glad I didn't pick anything.
Yeah. I wasn't
I'm
sure what
glad,
this book was gonna be like.
dude. It was awesome. Great pick. It was. I hate to have to rank the two stories because either one on any other month that they weren't facing side by side, that needs to be number one pick, but uh, just barely is do a power bomb. Awesome stuff. Fantastic. Just violent enough.
Yeah.
Excellent. The story was pretty cool too. I did like the story. The mother death thing, and then the father. Being the oh my goodness, yeah. But I don't want to give too much away in case there are people that do think we're cocks for spoiling.
Yeah, I mean, again, we do spoil everything as much as we can. Um, but yeah, I think like I really enjoyed the art because of how just fucking brutal it was, like just it looked like every move could have killed them. You know what I mean? Like it was just insane.
Yes,
It was insane,
like you felt
and
it. It was like
yeah,
it's art that you could feel. It was crazy.
yeah, it was so powerful, for lack
I
of a
did
better
have to
term
admit
there.
that the Earth wrestling was predetermined outcomes and wasn't exactly as real as other galaxies or planets or whatever as their wrestling moves, but with slight tweaks, they can turn Earth wrestling into a deadly art.
So good.
They made
Just
sure
who
to
they
like
were
explain
fighting.
that. I thought that was very nice of them to do that because I'm like, okay, come on, guys. I know the pile drive really doesn't.
Yeah, it made me appreciate wrestling more, and I kind of want to watch more wrestling because of this book. Um, I am kind of resistant to that, but might as well just jump in. Um,
If anything, do it for the kids.
true, true. You know.
Uh, well, Drew, if it makes it any easier to swallow, if you think of like the biggest draws on the planet and where they came from, Hulk Hogan, king of the '80s, professional wrestler. Late '90s, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Everybody was Austin 316 and all over your town. You know it. You went to high school with
Yeah,
those kids.
yeah.
They all had Austin 316 shirts on, professional wrestler. The Rock, at one point in time, was the highest paid movie star in Hollywood, professional wrestler. Roddy Piper, they live. That's a professional wrestler too.
John Cena,
John Cena,
Maker.
yeah, John Cena. I mean, the biggest superstars of our or biggest pop culture icons throughout history have been professional wrestlers. Just should get on board, dude. Start enjoying it.
I should. I should. Um, yeah, maybe I'll report back on that.
There's some good stuff. There's some good products out there. I'll tell you, if you can find it, I would recommend watching old. What was that? Robert Rodriguez Mexican wrestling, Adam, Lucha Underground.
Oh,
If you can find old episodes of Lucha Underground and watch those in a row, that wrestling that's kind of some over the top crazy wrestling, but it was wild storylines, and it was a little more adult than WWE. Well, way more adult than WWE. You can fast forward through the stuff of guys getting like a pencil stuck in his hand or something like that. Don't watch those matches, but there are other ones
Okay.
that are solid.
it was. I was watching a match with Ricochet. I can't remember who he was wrestling, but it was fucking fantastic.
Is Ricochet still in WWE?
No,
Okay, I didn't think so. Didn't think so. He go to AEW or is he in?
I think it's AEW.
Nice,
Nice.
nice. I'd
All
like to
right.
watch
Well,
more AEW, but oh, when AEW, that speaking of wrestling, they're getting that AEW comic book. It was an AEW DC crossover.
yeah, they
Dude,
have some of the variant
I'll be
covers.
definitely picking up copies of that, dude. Can you imagine if you get, could you imagine if you had like Hulk Hogan in a Captain America, like, if they did some sort of crossover back in the 80s and you had that cover, that'd be fucking sweet, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, that guy was America.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
All right. Let's dive into some news. We got some signals from the fleet here. One of the biggest thing making waves. Just made that up. Um, Adam brought this up, but there's been rumors of Zack Snyder possibly returning to complete Justice League, his little baby there. Adam, do you want to talk about that?
It was just a quick headline that I read while when I was supposed to be at work, so I couldn't get too deep into it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was also covered by one of these dudes that I follow on Instagram. So if he's talking about it, then it's more on the mainstream side of things. So I took it as more more or less more serious than speculative. But yeah, I saw that. I think either WB is trying to sell the company, and so I assume that that's part of the like if whoever these new investors are interested. I don't know. I wish I read the article, but so I'm speculating that there's talks that we might as well bring Zack Snyder back and give the people what they want, the Zack Snyder DC universe, and finish out his story.
I did uh, pull that up, an article about that. In fact, I have it up right now. Um, it seems that there's like it's like Saudi money that
Okay.
is like uh, Qatari investors, Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund. Uh, anyway, it's a lot of speculation on how things have to go
Yeah.
according to plan. So with that being said, I'm not gonna, unless of course James Gunn legally changes his name to Zack Snyder. That's the only way this is happening. The only way it's
No,
happening.
I
if
I agree.
WB sells, then
I mean, it would be up for grabs, but I mean, bro, you're telling me, well, okay, I'm sure the guy doing the Flash doesn't have shit going on besides checking in with his probie officer. Gal Gadot, I don't think has a whole lot going on. Henry Cavill, he's definitely got shit going on. He's always got irons in the fire. Jason Momoa is trying to be Lobo.
Yeah, he's like locked up in some stuff, man.
So I guess Amber Heard can come back and do something. She's probably, thirsty for a little limelight.
So I have some thoughts, but I want to hear Drew's opinion first.
Yeah, I think I'm with Joe on this one. Like I mean, of course anything's possible, but I think that I would personally revolt. I'm excited for the James Gunn DC era. I'm like, I mean, we talked about the Superman movie. I loved that movie. I mean, Peacemaker. We touched on that. The newest season, also amazing. Um, I I think that would put DC like kind of it would set them back. I think they are on the cusp of like doing a lot of really cool stuff. And again, in my like shitting on Marvel thing here, which I don't really mean to do, like I think that they've surpassed Marvel in their cinematic universe. And I think that if they go back, like I don't want to see that. I'm done with it, man. We've had four different like versions of the fucking Justice League. I mean, you can even watch it in black and white. Like, who gives a shit? I've seen it. I'm done with it, man. What are you gonna do? You already fought Darkseid. You know, I don't know. I don't think it's, I
All
don't
right,
think it's,
here's my pitch. Are you guys ready for my pitch?
yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, I don't want to start it. Okay, so in the original Justice League and like the Zack Snyder, that 4 hour long epic, we know that there's a time jump at the end where Darkseid, is controlling Superman and Batman's teaming up with the Joker and Deathstroke and all that.
Hmm.
All right, here's my pitch: is we turn Zack Snyder into an Elseworld universe, right? And you twist it so that instead of Darkseid just taking control, he actually changes Earth into the absolute universe Earth, and then we got absolute Batman, and we go that route. I mean, Ben
Yeah.
Affleck Batman is already fucking the biggest Jack Batman that
Yeah.
we've seen thus far, so it's not too far. I don't care if he uses the same actors or pulls out new people. I don't give a shit. But we changed the storyline to Darkseid taking over the Earth, and instead of creating a new universe, he just creates that Earth into an absolute Earth, and then we bring in the absolute characters that way.
I would be into that, but like, I don't need this to be Justice League 2, 3, and 4, whatever however many it takes to tell whatever story he's trying to tell. Like 100% I want absolute freaking universe. Like we need that. Um yeah. So yeah, I'd be into that. What about you, Joe? What do you think?
I'm in for anything that puts Ben Affleck back into the bat suit. I really like him as Batman. I mean, there's the people that say that, oh, Michael Keaton's the best Batman. Okay, cool. I mean, maybe he is, but Ben Affleck, that fight scene in Batman versus Superman
In the warehouse, or
in the
where?
warehouse is so friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
It's so close to like the Arkham video games and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
what like what as a guy that's now reading comics and is up to snuff on the kind of actual real brutality that Batman brings to the table. That's the closest thing. I mean, yeah, dude, that he put awesome Batman. In fact, Zack Snyder gave us that. So I mean, shit, dude, maybe you should get the Justice League back together. I don't know, but
I mean I'm with you on the Batman thing with Ben Affleck. Like I totally understand. I think he did make a good Batman. I think I really liked him as Bruce Wayne too.
Yeah.
yeah,
He was super like a really good like playboy billionaire. Like he just was like cocky enough. I recently watched this movie actually, like shit, maybe a week or two ago. Like I watched the whole Zack Snyder freaking 4 hour goddamn Justice League movie. Um and like I really enjoyed his screen time as like Bruce Wayne,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Ben
oh,
Affleck's a
how did you
great
do this?
actor.
I bought the building, or I bought the fucking bank,
I bought the
you know?
bank that foreclosed on the house.
Yeah, like what a gangster shit to do, man. And he just so matter of fact about it. So I guess I can see that, but like I don't want them to take away from what like James
Yeah.
got.
No, I hear what you're saying.
When I found out they were going a different route from Zack Snyder, you know, the first thing I did was mourn the loss of Batfleck.
Yeah.
Like I mean, that to me
Yeah.
that was the hardest part about losing the Zack Snyder thing, man. Because I mean, I and even Henry Cavill was really a great Superman. Yeah, I thought he
Yeah.
had I mean, except for like the CGI mustache thing,
Yeah, I mean
whatever.
that's kind of not
Um,
really his fault.
yeah, it's not his fault, but I'm well, shit. At one point in time, we had to look at fucking Bruce Banner's CGI head on Iron Man's Hulkbuster armor. So, but it was a really good. Yeah, really really good Ben Affleck being in there, man. And unfortunately, we never get to see that again.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
we're the real losers here.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
for. If it was like one way or the other, I'd definitely run with James Gunn's universe, and I'm interested in where his story goes. But like for sure, Batfleck would be an awesome, absolute Batman.
yeah. I mean, I'll watch it either. Whatever he makes,
Right.
I'll watch. So fucking put
Yeah, I'll
whatever.
still consume.
Yeah, now Justice League too. Threaten me with a good time. All right, let's move away from the news. Um, and since it is Thanksgiving, we're gonna jump into a real quick segment on some comics we are thankful for. Um, Adam, you're first up.
um. So I kind of went a little serious with this. So first, I just want to be I'm gonna really quickly. I'm just gonna be thankful for Spawn #1. That's basically my catalyst, my genesis into this comic book world. But if I could just, if you guys allow me to be serious for just a moment, um, I went to my first comic book convention in DC. It's called Awesome Con, and it really opened up my eyes to this community. It's very encouraging. It's it allows for all types of people. There's black people, gay people, transgender people in wheelchairs, just dressing up, having fun, going to this convention, and just having a blast. And it really opened my eyes up to like the positivity of this community and how comic books, really teach you life lessons about acceptance and stuff like that. So like that's what I want to give my thanks to is the comic book convention atmosphere.
Cool. When was that?
Ooh, this is probably back in like 2017.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll try and go to one next time I can. It's a good one, man. I like that. Joe, what are you thankful for? Comic you're thankful for?
Yeah, mine was actually kind of serious too, I guess, in a
Oh.
way. Um, First off, shout out to the Far Side. Gary Larson comic strip in the funny pages. That's kind of where I've like reading the comics in the newspaper back when I was younger. Kind of got broke me into how to read in panels and whatnot. But outside of that, I really like comics because years ago I read that the is it pronounced manga?
Yeah. Or
Manga?
Manga. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. We're
Doesn't
we're
matter
white
because
Americans,
I
Joe.
ain't gonna buy that shit. I saw that it was leading American comics in like sales per year,
yeah.
and I was like, I'm not doing my part to keep something that to keep our Greek gods alive. So the comic book community needs me to spend money here. So I'm happy to do it. But I am thankful that it exists to rival the evil Japanese manga. Uh, but on a more serious note, I'm thankful for, and I am thankful for Gary Larson's comic strip. By the way, it's fantastic. The Far Side's great. Go buy the books. Go find them at used bookstores and stuff. They're awesome. Um, I'm thankful for X-Men in general. That kind of like opened me up to these like crazy ass characters. Just like that when I saw the cartoon. Obviously I didn't read the X-Men because I'm new to this whole comic book thing, man. And then what the actual comic book that I'm really really thankful for is Battle Beast. It was the first one that I got like the first issue into my pull box, and it was the first one that I got early. Like or not early, but I showed up on that Saturday and they had it in a box for me, and I took it and I was like, "Oh, sick, dude!" And the guy was like, "Dude, yeah, we sold out of these real quick, man." He's like, "This is the hottest comic book we got right now," and I was like, "Huh, imagine that, Joe DeCavil, top top of the world." And I felt really good about that, and it kind of yeah, that's it, dude. X-Men for show me that this stuff exists, and then you know and then that for being the first one. I'm in like a secret club. Yeah, I'm like, oh man, you like Battle Beast? Oh yeah, dude, I read Battle Beast a little bit. I got Battle Beast #1. Like, no friggin' way, dude. I'm like, yeah, man, let's talk Battle Beast.
Yep. Awesome variants too on
Uh
Battle Beast.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I only got the regular ones. I didn't get any, crazy variants or anything with that. But uh
Like I hope in a couple of years, we're still doing this or we're still in the space because like yeah, I think it's totally fun like in a couple of years when we're talking about comics and then you dig through your backlog and I was like, "Oh, fuck, I have those."
yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah. Quit showing me that do a Powerbomb, man. I'm just like upset that there wasn't a bunch more after that, man. And
Yeah, all the covers
especially
are pretty
you, dude,
cool.
because I know that you dig like luchador style wrestling. Not because you are Mexican, but everybody likes luchador wrestling, and you
That's
and I went
probably
as luchador wrestling tag team for Halloween in the
I think
Navy.
you can see my Luchador Raiders
Oh yeah,
Oh
right
yeah. Yeah.
here.
so I mean, you get that, and you're like, I'm good. You go back and get #2, man. Oh, but no, dude, great cover, dude. Awesome stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Drew, what are you
Nice.
thankful for?
Yeah, so man, I am probably not gonna get all sentimental, but I might, who knows. I'm actually this comic book, I I'm very thankful for like independent comics. Because I think that like you kind of touched on this, Adam, like, but they kind of tell like a deeper story.
Yeah.
They're kind of allowed to because it's not really like a set, character that like I think it would be hard to do like a, Spider-Man like really in-depth comic book with like a lot of emotion. I mean, or maybe not. So I really have been enjoying a lot of independent books. And one of the first independent books that I read that I was completely shocked that I really enjoyed was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Mm.
Um, I have two of their trade paperbacks from back in the day. I don't remember when they released, but I kind of did a little resurgence back into collecting. That's when I read like Why the Last Man, Preacher, and I went down a really kind of like a little rabbit hole, and then I stopped. But I found those comics to be much more impactful, and they tell like a lot, not better stories, but a lot more relatable and emotional stories. So I guess I got a little deep on that. Um, Also a really good comic book. If you guys have not read it, which probably not, it's kind of obscure. Um, maybe I'll recommend that for our next recommendation. But yeah, I'm thankful for independent comics. I mean that's where Spawn came from. Like I
Yeah.
mean Todd McFarlane wanted to do his own thing, and that's kind of where it came from. Um, so yeah, and I mean I'm also thankful that we are able to do this podcast and talk about comics, and
Right.
that's you
Yeah,
guys are
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool. All right,
Can I just touch on like Joe brought up manga and
yeah,
that yeah, he's right like manga comics consistently like are like the top 10 most sold comics, I think worldwide. And I just wanted to point out that absolutely Batman is has been consistently cracking like the top three
Nice.
when paired up against manga. So even when taking into manga into account, uh, absolutely Batman is breaking into that top five role.
Hell yeah.
When I went and picked up my I told you guys I picked up the deck of cards. I told the guy, I said, I might be late to the party, but I'm looking for, and the dude goes, don't tell me you're looking for Absolute Batman. I said, no, I'm not that late. I'm not late for that party, buddy. He's like, good, man, because you wouldn't have people come in here asking to pick up, you know, issues of that and back issues of that. And she's like, we don't have it.
That's crazy.
That shit's, I mean, it's, yeah, I guess everybody's reading it, man. It's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm seeing like posts on like random, like, algorithm knows that I'm doing things comic book related, you know, and it's somehow it always steering me towards some absolute Batman stuff, you know. But I'm already so caught up. I already know all the inside jokes and shit, dude.
Yep. Speaking of absolute Batman, let's jump into the pull list, our deck log. Um, Absolute Batman is coming out tomorrow, along with some other comic books. So I'm super stoked about it. This is our second fight with Bane. So Batman versus Bane, round two. Um, what's on your guys' pull list? What are you hoping to grab this week or in the future? Adam.
It's been I feel like it's been like a slow month. I think there's a lot of delays with some comic books, so that's what but as far as my pulls this week, I'm getting the DCKO, the Absolute Batman, what 14 I think.
Yep.
I'm getting Skin Breaker number 3. I'm not fully on board with Skin Breaker. Like it hasn't gone anywhere for me. So I'm giving it the 10 issue cutoff. So like if I'm not engaged in Skin Breaker by issue 10, then I'm gonna drop it from my pull list. And then I'm also picking up Battle World number 3, and this one has the that we talked about it in a previous issue where Venom is it's a new Venom, and he's in like the Spider-Man red and blue. So I think this might be the first cover appearance. If I'm not, it's a sick cover. It looks really cool, and I hope that's in my pull box. But I did end up reading the backstory. I believe I know the backstory behind this new Venom. It's not actually a new Venom. It's Mary Jane is currently has a Venom symbiote, and she's trying to hide her identity. And Venom, they're like on the run right now, and they're trying to fake, they're trying to hide Venom, and she's trying to like mimic Spider-Man. That's why he has the blue and red colors. But yeah, that's in my pull list. Just yeah, I'm psyched to see Bane versus Batman number 2, and I also want to. I haven't have this bracket for DCKO, and I haven't crossed any characters off of it, so I'm really excited about the next series of fights.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not that
I'm
much.
glad you brought up Skin Breaker because I'm kind of on the same boat of that one. I was gonna give it 5 issues,
Okay.
but I like the idea of 10. But I'm not really sold on it like too much. I mean, it's cool, I guess, but like I'm not like
The
where is
art
this?
is fantastic.
Yes.
I read I think David Lynch is the artist, and you know when comic book artists they draw out their panels, it's I forget it's like 11 by 17 page, and they shrink it down into comic book format. I think his panels are double the size. That's how he's able to get so much
Oh,
detail. But
yeah.
also, it must take so much time for him to make this comic. So that's why I'm gonna give it a 10 issue run, just because I know a lot of effort's being put into this comic.
Yeah. Good point. Joe, what's on your pull list?
Um, I have a lot of the same stuff you guys do. I am actually reading Battle World. So but I may look for that that cover there, Adam, and see if they have it, just because it is pretty rad. And I feel like you showed me that before, but maybe I just kind of just forgot about it. Absolute Batman I have on mine as well. DCKO #2, and then unlike you guys, I like Skinbreaker. I guess.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, the art is awesome.
Yeah, the art is amazing.
I just know that at some point, like all hell's going to break loose. I mean, it's
Yeah.
already getting really tense in the tribe, and
Yeah.
but there's going to be something that it's a slow burn. Maybe that's why you guys aren't feeling it. It just seems to be like it's like Dances with Wolves without the white guy in there yet.
I never read The Walking Dead, so I don't know how Kirkman paces, how the pace in The Walking Dead is.
Yeah, same. I haven't either.
But I am liking this. I am caught up on it. I enjoy it. Also the letters are kind of big, so I don't have to be really too far into the book to read it all. But on top of that, I'm going to try to go back. Last week there was a comic book called Final Boss that came out, and I did not get it, and I wish I would have.
It looked kind of cool.
I'm hoping to go back and get that and check that out. And then I think 2 weeks ago, something called Youngblood came out. And I think I want to go back and see if I can grab a copy of that too. I don't know what it's about, but I'm kind of like hitching my wagons to you guys a lot on this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to look at some other stuff. Maybe there's something rad out there. Maybe I accidentally get a cool cover for do a Powerbomb and then don't give a shit about the comic book afterwards. But I've had some time today or these last couple of days at work, being that it's Thanksgiving week and everyone's already kind of in vacation mode. So I've just been kind of going and looking at new releases and stuff from random comic book companies and seeing what I can kind of jump on here. I think some Hulk comes out tomorrow. I thought maybe that might be kind of cool. I'm not really a Hulk guy, but for some reason I did get Planet Hulk just because I like hulking brutes swinging swords and stuff, very savage type of shit. And I am currently pulling Planet She-Hulk. Just because now we got a kind of like it's like a chick doing it, dude. So, so I've got some stuff. I'm trying to find some random shit on my own. I feel like I need to get more DC. I lean Marvel heavy on a lot of stuff, but Marvel comes out with a lot of stuff, man. At 1776, I ended up getting 3 covers for that. I got one with Spider-Man and George Washington. The next one that comes out, I can get. There's a variant of Spider-Man and Ben Franklin. I have to get that, dude. And I haven't read that yet, but the covers are just so cool, man. Colonial America fucking fighting alongside Captain America. Give me that all day long. That's it.
That is a pretty fun book. I did catch up on that one. And there's something to be said about those books, right? Just a good, fun read,
Dude, I'm having a blast reading Predator Kills the Marvel Universe.
Holy shit, dude.
So fucking well done.
I am
oh man, I gotta get on that.
Dude, I wanted to bring that up today too, man. The covers are pretty cool, but the story is I'm kind of upset now that I didn't read the stuff leading up to this.
Yeah.
Just because, dude, Kraven the Hunter teaming up with the Predators.
It just makes too much sense.
Makes too much sense. It's really cool, man. It's really cool.
They have Weapon Predator X.
Yeah. Yeah, Predator Weapon X or whatever, dude. Drew, it's crazy, man. It's fun.
It's like the opposite of do a Powerbomb or 8 billion Genies, where it's just a fun thing to read, and sometimes that's okay to just have a fun book to read.
Yeah.
The Predators have vibranium from fucking issues I didn't read before. Fucking, it's Craven has managed to kill a Predator and is now like the second in command or something of Predator's army. Like, it's wild. It's wild, and
No, I
they
didn't.
and
Yeah, I didn't know you
and they
were reading
and
that.
oh, dude, and they make sure that like they kill the baddest dudes in Marvel fucking first. Like, so just in case you're like, who would win in a fight against the Predator and I don't know, Mr. Fantastic? It's fucking Predator.
It's a Predator. I recently watched the two newest Predator movies. Not the one in theaters, not Badlands yet. But I freaking have now like been like really kind of obsessed with like the Predator and their lore and the freaking like the whole universe that they is it's
The Predator
awesome.
universe is pretty
Have
crazy.
It is
you
It's
badass.
fun.
have
And
you
it has Alien 2 in it, like they're on the same freaking universe.
have
And
you
those
did you see
movies were good.
the animated Predator
Yes.
series? That
That
shit
was
was
Was that good?
that was fucking
so
amazing.
good. It was so good. Dude, and Prey, I thought Prey was really good too, but I thought the
That Prey was
animated
pretty
one
cool.
They
was
did it. They did it on the Unreal engines. That's why it looks so fucking fantastic.
it's so cool. You should watch it, Joe, if you haven't watched
That's
it.
on Amazon or Netflix. Amazon?
Hulu
Uh
maybe.
it's on
Hulu. I
Hulu.
think you're right. I think it's
Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah, it is awesome. And I can't wait for Badlands now. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, I want to see Badlands.
I'm very much into the freaking like Predator universe, and especially because of the animated one. Like the end of the animated one was like, what the fuck?
See, this is the problem with like even like the early X-Men movies is they didn't take it seriously, like the directors and shit. But when you take an IP seriously, you can make amazing fucking stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So shout out to Predator. What a great like franchise. And the oh man, what the hell are they called? Do you remember the name like what they are, the species?
Uh, did it start with the W?
Yeah, it's something like Yacha or something.
Yacha or something? Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's really cool. Joe, you need to watch the animated one.
All right, man. All right. All right.
All right, so for my pull list, this week is gonna fucking tank my wallet, man. Um, Absolute Batman, of course. I'm absolutely loving Absolute Wonder Woman. I think it's better than Batman. Um,
They're
and
gonna be the first to meet each other.
I saw that. That's another like a little spoiler in one of the covers I saw, but they're gonna like meet each other, which is pretty awesome.
What is there gonna be a variant cover for that? Is that a Wonder Woman one that's gonna have Batman and Wonder Woman on the cover?
Yeah,
When does that come out?
next month. I know
So
Absolute
Okay.
Batman comes out in 2 more
Give me a
weeks.
heads up on that one because I'll definitely I wanted to say today because I knew you're going to bring up Wonder Woman that I regret not getting that from the beginning. I'm not going to start now, but
yeah.
I regret not doing it from the beginning because it looks fucking awesome.
It
It does.
comes out one
All the
month.
pictures, all the like the images and shit I see of it, and I know how much you like it. I wish I would have gotten that alongside, and now it's too far gone, and I'm not turning back around. And then you're like, dude, it's just like a block away. Like, just turn around. Too far, Drew. Uh, but I see how much you're enjoying it, and I do like hearing the updates from you.
It is freaking amazing, dude. It is so good. Like they made this character so much better than like boring ass Wonder Woman. And like Wonder Woman is a really kind of a cool character if you break it down.
Yeah,
But like this is just a different level of like everything in this book is fantastic. Like the writing is amazing. The art is top notch. The panels are so like just really well designed. I mean, Adam, you bought the trade back or the
Yeah. The I bought the hardcover version because I like hardcovers more than trade paper. But yeah,
yeah,
I haven't read it yet.
you need to. That's what I'm gonna recommend for you guys next time is read fucking that. Um, because yeah, man, it is crushing. I think overall right now, I read like a little, snippet of an article about how DC is like killing the Marvel universe right now as far as like popularity and books and everything. Like the ratings are just like sky high for DC, and Marvel is just like not hitting the mark. Like DC is dominating. Um, Also, of course, DCKO #2 comes out. Like Adam said, we have yet to cross off any of our contenders here. But I believe starting next month, maybe even I think that next month that would be next week. Um, we're gonna start having the fight books. So we're gonna have like, someone versus someone like as an actual like comic book.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna start crossing stuff off like pretty quickly. Even in DC #2, DCKO #2, we might as well. I don't know for a fact. That's no spoiler. I have no real clue. Um, just a speculation. Definitely picking up Skinbreaker. I'm also reading Black Cat. Kind of the retelling of not retelling, but just like starting her story. It's fun. It is kind of like a fun book to read. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go with it. I might go to 10. I like that number. Adam makes
Yeah.
sense. Um, but yeah, it's kind of cool. What else am I picking up? Uh, yeah, I'm not quite sure what else. Mainly, DCKO is going to yeah, break the bank. It has 11 variant covers. Batman has 9. I think 6 of those you can only get. And I think the others are like comic store like exclusives, like retail
Exclusive.
exclusives.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's going to bring us into our main topic or our deep dive of this issue, and that's going to be variant covers and ratio books. Are they good? Are they bad? We are going to discuss them. First, let's talk about what they actually are. What is a variant? What is a ratio? You guys are both familiar with that, correct?
Yeah, for the most part.
Not near as much as I probably should be.
Okay. Well, for the sake of everyone else listening, variants is basically any like alternate cover, anything that differs from the main cover. They are open order, so comic stores can order as many of them as they want, and they are usually very easy to buy. They're out with the normal comic books, and they are sometimes a little bit more expensive than the normal, your standard cover. But they're not going to be like usually crazy. The ratio variants or the ratio incentive covers are based on how many comic books I believe um, the comic store orders.
Yeah.
So there's like a 1 in 25, a 1 in 50, 1 in 100. They've gone up to like 1 in 250. I think they've gone to 1 in 500 and maybe even 1 in 1,000. These covers are very hard to get usually. Just because obviously if you're looking at 1 in 100, that a big comic store may get one of them.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and they are more expensive, upwards of $20 sometimes, depending on what ratio you have. Um, yeah, I like both of them. But yeah, so that's basically the difference. Now, I feel like you guys haven't got a lot of ratio books. I think because we share for everyone listening, we share what we pick up every week. Um, do you look for them? Do you care about them? Like, what are your thoughts on them, Adam?
I think they are cool. um, I have no issues with. Are we talking? We're talking ratios or
Yeah,
or variants? Sorry.
ratios.
Okay, yeah, I think ratio. I come from like a collectible background. Like when I was a kid, I loved sports cars, trading cards, stuff like that. So that's kind of in my DNA. It's not the same thing because you can't randomly get a cool ratio unless it's in like a line bag format. But I like the option, especially when you're invested in an artist and they do a special cover. I think it's a cool way to to just add a cool piece of art to your collection. I look at beyond just entertaining stories. I do look at comics as like art. I think talented people are creating talented images and that I like to look at. And so like when it comes to my collection, it's like curating art, you know? So to have like a special, Daniel Warren Johnson cover or a Scott Campbell cover in your collection, I think it's amazing and for that opportunity. Um, with that being said, now I have no real issues with ratios. It's tough to get and it probably should be tough to get. I also know that I know my limits as far as like spending and financials and stuff like that. So like if it's not in the cards to get, I'm not gonna get it and I'm not gonna be upset about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I pick up ratio books, I try and get it when I have like my like coupon that is available to me from the stores. So at each store that I go to, um, you have like a little punch card almost. Like one's digital and one is actually a little card, and for every 10 stamps you get, and every stamp is for every $10 you spend, if you fill up the card, you get $10 off your next purchase. And like I happened to have one of those available, and I think there was a ratio book that I was really wanting to get, and I totally grabbed it. I think it was actually the 1776 one that I got. Because I got the David Nakayama. I'm gonna butcher his name like a million times. Yeah, Nakayama. I think it was his variant cover, and it was foil too, which is cool. Anyway, um, Joe, what do you think about ratio books? I know you
Dude,
don't
they're
seem to
rad,
grab a
but
lot of them.
I
I
got one
don't
for his birthday.
Yeah, yeah. I should show that. Show you. I totally forgot to show Drew, and I keep thinking about it all the time. Like, but it's always in like weird opportunities. Like I'll be in the shower, like I should take a picture of that and show it to Drew. And then I get out of the shower, and it's just always in weird times like that. Like spaghetti sauce on my face. Um, uh, I don't really seek them out. I don't. I just kind of just get what I get, I guess. I think that maybe I should probably do that a little bit more. You know, it's not even about the money. Like, I mean, I'm not spending $100 on a comic book. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, yeah.
That kind of
No,
shit ain't
no,
happening. Um, but
not
I mean,
yet.
like, would I spend like $15, $25? Yeah, probably something
Maybe.
cool. Yeah, 25 is when I'm starting to get like to my point of I don't know about that, brother. Um, but depending on the kind of mood you catch me in and how things are going or whatever, yeah, $25 might not be so bad.
I think
$50.
it makes more sense when you figure out you have an artist that you like.
Yeah,
I think that's when it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
yeah. Um, when you get those, are you like send them up to get graded, Drew? Is that what you're doing? Or are you putting them in a hard cover, or are you just putting them
No.
in a plastic bag, and then you're not even reading that comic book, or you got the other one and you're
Yeah,
reading that one instead?
I usually buy like the normal like cover.
Yeah.
And I read that versus like the ratio books. But no, I'm not getting him graded. I haven't gotten to that level yet. Like I don't know really what that's gonna look like in the future. Um, but good point to bring up because that's another topic I think that we need to talk about is like what is the value gonna be of these books, you know? Adam, you do the most like collecting, but even with like not just ratio books, but like variants, like what is the value in them, you know?
I mean, for the most part, I think like ratio covers are gonna hold their value the most. Um, I kind of like my thought process on ratios when it gets to like the 1 in 25s and the 1 in 50s, maybe like I kind of tend to like it. I, I the cost should be double whatever the ratio is. So if it's a 1 in 25, it's probably a $50 book. If it's a 1 in 50, it's probably a $100 book. So if you could get it in that price range, I think it's a good value. Once you get into like the hundreds of thousands and the price fluctuates exponentially, I think the most important thing, I think the biggest factors is the artist, and then how much was printed is where the value is gonna come up, and you have to couple that also with like the importance of the comic. So if there's a new appearance or something happens noteworthy in that issue is where all the value is gonna be at. For the most part, I wouldn't buy comics expecting them to retain their value. Most comics are after it's all said and done, you might get 40 cents per book. Key events, it might retain the original comic book value, and then you go from there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's driven by also too by like what's like popular at the time. Like if
Yeah,
say for instance like a new Wolverine movie comes out, right? Like Wolverine #1 is gonna go for
yeah,
hype
yeah.
once like the movie comes out because the hype is there.
So I need
Um,
to wait until Spider-Man and George Washington have their movie together to really sell
Yeah.
my variant copy of 1776.
Actually,
yep.
like there's weird things like so like that comic book might for like a 2 week period prior to Independence Day might fetch you a couple dollars. Like
Yeah.
what's the V event for Vendetta date? November,
The
remember the something of
something
November.
of November, yeah.
8th of
Anyways,
November.
that comic book spikes every week leading up to that date. So there's like weird stuff that happens on certain days in regard to certain comics that you might push the value up for a short, very period of time. But um, I, I do some speculating, and so like whenever like I have multiple copies of Absolute Batman #1 that I'm just sitting on at this point. And so if I ever get to that point where I want to sell, like now would be a good time to sell, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's worth a little bit of money. I think it's $60
yeah, which is crazy. And I
for
don't
such a
see,
new comic. Yeah.
and for as much as it's sold too, but I don't think that price is coming down anytime soon. Like I think they captured something worthwhile with that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Absolute Universe is crushing right now. And like Superman, I think isn't even like in the top like I mean, I don't remember how many there are, 5 or 6 different Absolute books, but Superman, I don't even think is cracking top 3 in
Yeah.
popularity. But Batman, Wonder Woman, I think Martian Manhunter has a good following, but I haven't tried that. But anyway,
What I think the best like mindset to come in, especially with dealing with like variance and ratio coverage, I think the best mindset is just to get what you like without expecting a return on your some sort of a return. Like the return, the as cliche it sounds like, the return should be the enjoyment you get out of reading the stories. You know, like
Mhm.
like these comic books cost what, $5 or $6, but and if you read it and you really enjoy the story, I think that's money well spent. $6. Like what else? Like it costs me and my wife at minimum $50 to see a 2 hour movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
So
I think that some have good, um, like I see myself like reading like Viking Moon again. Not
yeah,
to be bringing that up, randomly, and so we can have a conversation about it. But like, I'm already like digging on the story, and it's like, dude, I bet you, yeah, like I read this now, and then like in 2 years, like, you know what, I'm gonna flip back through Viking Moon again.
even if you read it once, it's like $5 or $6 for
Yeah,
20 minutes or 30 minutes. I think that's good value. And then I do like I'll sit through and I'll look at the covers that I do purchase just because the artwork is fantastic, and I'll just stare at them. Is that worth $6? Just anytime I wanna look at some good art, I could just go into my comic book bin and pull something out and stare at it, maybe even read it. That's a $6 investment. I think people trap themselves when they expect something more.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So like they get mad like, oh, there's 100,000 comics and 17 variants, and I'm buying this for $4 and I want a $100 return on my investment. I think
yeah.
that's a shitty outlook, and you're
Yeah.
gonna be disappointed every time.
Yeah.
But if you spend $5, you read it and you're like, man, that was a good story. I learned something. I took something away. This comic book, I put it in a frame and I hang it up on the wall, and it cost me $5. It's two different scenarios, and one person comes out happy, and the other person comes out mad and disgruntled.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, what are you guys looking for when you are looking for variants? Like, what's something that draws you to the variant? Is it something specific? Um, like I think for instance, like I picked up a Black Cat book a few weeks ago, and it was like a Marvel Zombie like variant cover of that. Um, I just thought that was super cool and very unique and rare for that because you're typically looking at like, Black Cat in this like tight cat suit,
Yeah.
but in this comic this variant she's just like this disgusting zombie, and I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, what do you look for that makes you just like want to buy?
Its eye appeal is definitely going to be different for everybody, but I what I tend to gravitate towards in covers and variant is full body poses. It doesn't have to necessarily be in action, but I like full body poses.
Yeah.
And I kind of lean towards the more of the photorealism side of art. Like I like seeing my comic book characters as close to human looking as possible. Like I said, I at this point, I have artists in mind when I'm looking for. So I like the Jason Scott Campbell's, the Sean Murphy's, the Greg Capullo's, Nakayama is another good one. Art Germ, Princess Momoko. Like I'm just
Hmm.
throwing out names at this point, but like if you were to look at all those artists' covers, side by side, they would all have like they like the whole corpse of the characters on the page, and it's very detailed, very more realistic looking, if for lack of a better word. So those are the type of covers that I really enjoy.
Yeah. Joe, what about you?
I think I've taken a little bit from everybody in mine. Like I said, I already like, I like already I already said that I like badass shit, like big muscly dudes punching shit in the face or swinging swords and stuff. So obviously I gravitate towards that. But I also like the female form, and I took this from Drew. Getting chicks on the cover of your comic books ain't weird. I'm
No.
not jerking off.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with wanting to see like a superhero chick. Dude, I'm not fucking 14, you psychos. But I do like looking at the female figure, even if it is disgustingly unrealistic. Uh, Adam, you told me about bondage covers. I haven't seen any yet, but I do keep my eyes out for them.
I mean, they're not gonna be. They're definitely like bondage covers were like super popular in the pre-code days before the government got all involved. But like these days, like the pseudo bondage covers can be pretty popular.
Okay, all right, all right. So we got pseudo bondage covers I've been looking out for. I haven't found any. Um, Also, like I guess maybe like kind of like what's trending now, like like character wise or whatever, like uh with all those like Batman Deadpool covers and stuff, like there was the one with Joker and Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is the next big bad, I'm assuming, in Marvel, right? And Joker is just the Joker, so
Yeah,
like
big following.
so uh maybe not a return for investment like Adam says, but it was an awesome cover anyway. And that it fell under my badass more than it fell underneath my iconic characters or whatever. But then there was like one that had Wonder Woman and Captain America on it. I was like, that's pretty fucking American. I mean, even though I know she's not American, but she fought in World War I. So you know there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
um
That's
and
a Lee Bermejo cover, and his art is fucking. You could spot his art any day of the week. He has a very unique style, and it's very gritty.
um Yeah, I think I like the realistic stuff more than the. But I mean, this stuff's coming from the guy that says, I want my guys bulging and sword swinging and stuff. But uh, I, I like that. I like the some of I like the realistic. Probably look like more of a gritty look than the cartoony over the top look. Um, yeah, more like probably more like like a skin breaker, Kirkman type art, more, just the grittier look. I like gritty.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a actually speaking of variants and everything for DCKO, there is a pretty cool Daniel Warren Johnson variant with everything that we really enjoyed about Do a Powerbomb. And then Joe, you have got to get this one, but you have Lobo versus your buddy Plastic Man.
Oh, they haven't.
Mhm.
I haven't even. I haven't really even looked at them.
Are
Was
they
it cover?
fighting in your bracket?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
they're
oh,
not.
oh. Were they going first round?
Were they fighting in your
I think they
bracket?
were first round.
Oh, that'd be nuts. There's also
Yeah.
a sick Wonder Woman variant when
Oh
she has her
yeah.
like her helmet. That
Yeah.
fucking cover looks fucking badass.
I need to find that one because my local comic shop did not get that one. But there's a wrestling one. I'm getting that one. They're not even getting the Daniel Warren Johnson, but now I have to get that one. I got to find that. So thank goodness these are not as expensive as the freaking Batman Deadpool variants. Those shits were 8.99 a piece, man.
That's because of the page numbers.
Yeah, it was a big book.
It's a thick. It was a thick book.
Yeah. So for me, Joe touched on it. I did a little bit of like identity searching for each of us. And I came across a term that we need to be aware of that is called cheesecake. And that is exactly what Joe said, which is the variant covers with, basically like your ladies on them, right? Um,
Uh,
so for instance, I decided to pull one of my major ones that I found. But this one of Harley Quinn,
oh
massive
yeah.
cheesecake cover. This is like the epitome of cheesecake by one of my favorite artists, David Nakayama. um, considered a major one, but like, Adam was saying, it is like a full, full body pose right there. Um, which is cool too, There's a lot of good ones. One of them that I picked up of Wonder Woman from David Nakayama. We did kind of touch on it in one of the previous episodes, but I'm gonna read the book, and regardless of what the cover is, right? If I just pick up a book for a cover, I'm gonna read it because I spent the money on it. And true to Adam said, usually it's a pretty cool time. And this cover that I got was like the beginning of a little like mini story in the Wonder Woman series that's happening right now, where she got Batman to come with her to Olympus basically to be her like partner in solving a crime that the gods committed. I think it was a 3 issue run. I thought it was really fun. I picked him up, and then I stopped reading all of Wonder Woman. But I do. I'm a cheesecake guy. I have to admit it. Like Joe said, there's nothing wrong with it. Come fight me if you want to. It's fine. But then like I said about the Black Cat one, and also touching on what Joe said, with the bondage stuff, I look for covers that have something that, is like a gimmick. It's very gimmicky. But also mostly I look for the art. Big on the art thing. Um, and I really have been kind of following more of these artists now.
Yeah.
J. Scott Campbell, I've followed him since he did Danger Girl back in the day. Um, who else? Amanda Connor, like she's a big one. Her art is really cool. She does a lot of cool stuff, but also, cheesecakey, if you will. But it's tough, man, like especially with all these books that are coming out with like I said, Deadpool Batman or Batman Deadpool had like 20 plus variants.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, is it too much? Like it,
That's a like you got to figure yourself out at that point. you got to
yeah. Yeah,
you need some self-control.
really, I could have bought all the freaking covers damn near, I think my LCS had most of them,
Yeah.
but I had to put some back, man. I got that I almost picked up the was it Catwoman and I forget who else it was, but like I just couldn't spend the money. I
yeah.
had to be thoughtful of like what I was doing
Maybe
there.
that is my limit is like $10 for a like a regular cover, non-ratio, not non-foil cover. Maybe that's where I draw the line. Add a little foil to it. All right, I'll cough up a couple extra bucks.
Yeah. Um, so touching on the amount of them, um, I've been talking with my local comic shop. I think he's the manager. I think he might even be the owner. Should probably figure that out. Um, kind of on like his ordering, right? Because I asked him like, "Hey, did you get like the new Harley Quinn like Poison Ivy book that came out?" And he's like, "Nah, like no one asked for that, so I didn't like get it, which is fair. Don't really need to read that." But then we were talking about, Deadpool, sorry, Batman Deadpool crossover that came out last week. Um, and he's like, I had to buy so many freaking variants because there was a ton of them. And then he was telling me how, like he's going to be left with a lot of them,
Yeah,
I think a lot of it was because of, Deadpool Batman crossover. That book wasn't really good. I don't know if you guys read it, but I thought it was dog shit. Um, but yeah, like, do you think like it's too much for the comic shops? Like, do you think it's helping them? Do you think it's like hurting them a little bit? Like especially when there's these 20 plus or even 10, like what's the limit? What do you think, Adam?
it's definitely too much for a local comic book shop because they're straight up paying. It's not like It's not like, oh, we didn't sell this, I'll send it back to the comic book company, and they for every issue that's in that store, they've paid for
Yeah.
it. Um, it's like tough because like I'm an easygoing comic book collector. If it's not in the shop and I didn't pre-order it, then I accept it as a loss, and I don't blame the comic book store. So I feel like the comic book store just needs to like just understand their customer base and just order accordingly. And and I know we all worked in some sort of customer based roles, and nobody's ever happy. So like if you're you're expecting to make everybody happy, you're gonna have a bad time. So yeah, just everybody should be responsible.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Joe?
What was the original question again?
Um, the amount of variants that are being released for each
Oh,
comic book, do you think
um,
they're hurting?
I never, Adam made a great point. I never even thought of it from like the small business owner perspective. I only saw it as the, morbidly obese consumer. Just feed me more. Where, yeah, it makes sense. Like, okay, we got 5 variants, dude. Like, order 200 of each. I don't know what it is, but like, sir, there's 37 variants coming out. Okay, 10 of each, and that's it. And then then nobody's happy. Like how do you do that? And man, I wonder. That's how I really get to know my comic book guy. I ask him the super deep questions about business. I don't need to tell him my thoughts on fucking Power Girl's buttocks.
Well, she's known for her
Yeah,
chest,
she's known for her boobs.
her
Okay.
pectorals.
Okay. In the latest cupcake cover, what was it called?
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake covers. They shouldn't do that. That's okay. So I didn't realize this until recently. A new record store opened up in my city. I haven't been there yet. It just opened up like a month and a half ago. I'm really interested in going, so I followed him on Facebook to just see what's going on. Let me get an idea of the vibe in there before I just waltz in there and start whipping out vinyl facts on everybody. Uh, they've been putting up advertisements for their used albums, some of the new good ones they have, and they have their new albums that are coming out too. Dude, Taylor Swift has like 9 fucking covers of that new album.
Yeah.
Like she's got variants. In fact, they even call them variants. And I'm like, it's the same fucking. And I said to myself, hey, that's the same fucking music, man, just a different cover.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, you son of a bitch. Uh, you got me. So it's it's a fucking cash grab, dog. We know it, right?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which upsets me sort of, but whatever. You get to look at something cool for a little bit, man. Like Adam said, you're paying $5 to enjoy something. It's like when you play the free like Candy Crush or whatever on your phone, and you try to justify like paying $5 for those 10 extra lives or something. You're like, dude, I've been playing this game for free for 10 years. I had time to give a little back to them. So it's I think it's worth it if you don't get too expensive with it, get crazy with it, obviously. But they are cool to look at. And I'm definitely going to go for the Plastic Man Lobo and try to get that hooked up. I'll be upset if I don't, man. Now the bar's set pretty high. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna rush over there at lunch tomorrow and try to
It's got
scoop
your
up
name
one of
written all over
those.
it.
I think that that like the guy that runs the shop here in town. I think probably got his finger on the pulse of what people want. He's been running that store for quite some time, and I think he knows what to get. He seemed to do really well when I went in there for the Deadpool, Batman, Deadpool, whatever it was last week. And I mean, like every one of them was available. And I mean, it's not a monster store by any means.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I told you stories in a previous issue about, when DCKO was first coming out, like my local comic shop, they weren't sure about like what they were going to order, and they kind of were talking about it. And I was like, I'm looking forward to that like a lot, and those blind bags too. I'm throwing
yeah,
$50 at you, man. Regardless, like I don't fucking like whatever's happening, you're getting $50 from me, bro. And he was like, is it really like that popular? And I'm like, dude, there's like brackets being made for this shit. Like people are following this. So like he upped like his order, and then on the flip side of that, like I would have felt really bad if he didn't sell that many, but he is also trying with the little offshoots, of like DCKO, like the little tie-ins, right? Like he was trying with some of those, and I straight up told him like, I'll try a few of these, but like probably not. Like these aren't gonna, and for me anyway, they're not hitting.
Damn, you could be, are you gonna be like his finger on the pulse of the comic book community, and then all your information is gonna be based off what we discuss on the podcast?
Probably, right? Just like completely, this store would definitely go out of business. I'd be like, just order David Nakayama covers, and we're good. We're good. Um, but also, like on the flip side of that, they want to make you happy, and
Yeah,
the way we talked about, like, I can tell him to like reserve 4 variants for me because I have a subscription box with them. And he's like, whatever you want, like tell me and I will order it. And I think that's kind of the benefit of like a local comic shop, because like looking ahead, obviously it's too late to order the stuff now, but like, if you look ahead a month, maybe you see there's a cover you want coming out.
I know. Like in my it's happened before in my comic book shop where like one dude really wanted the like a ratio cover, and he said, and they'll be like, I will order 25 comic books if that guarantees me the ratio, the 1 in 25 ratio. And so the next month I come back and there's 26 books in his pull box.
Damn. I mean, some of those covers, man, I think I did not really do as much preparing as I wanted to for this, but I wanted to see what the highest ratio book I have is because I may have a 1 in 100. I'm pretty sure I have a 1 in 50. Um, but yeah, I got to double check now. I'll report back on that. But yeah, variants, I'm gonna buy them. Um, and another thing is like I think the ratio books are kind of getting like less and less a thing.
Yeah.
I felt like there's been a lot of books that haven't had ratio books lately. I think there's one for Batman this month, tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, there's a 1 in 25, which is different, and then a 1 in 50 that is like one of the available variants. But yeah, there's a 1 in 25 Batman cover. Looks pretty cool. But I think the main cover looks awesome as hell, man. Anyway, all right, so variants, we're gonna keep getting them. All right, I think that we are ready to return to port, gentlemen, and wrap up this issue of Into the Seamenverse. It's gonna be issue 3. Uh, thanks for going and getting underway with us while we talked about comics that we're thankful for. Um, I'm kind of surprised Joe did not wish for his wish to have more Plastic Man content uh, from 8 billion genies.
Dude, when he
Uh,
wins when he gets beat by Lex Luthor in the finals.
we will see. We will see. Um, we figured out a cheesecake variants, and
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to report on the cheesiest cheesecake variants that we find, perhaps
Yeah, just
in the
like a
future.
weekly.
I'll definitely front that one. Um, so yeah, until next time, fair winds, following seas, happy reading, shipmates. We'll catch you on the next episode of Into the Seamenverse. Say goodnight, gentlemen.
Good night.
Night.
See you later.